Hello, tarantula lovers. I'm Alex, and you're watching Tarantula Haven. Forgive me if I sound a little bit funny, if I'm sniffly. First day of summer break, and I get a cold. I went all through fall and all through winter without getting sick, and now here it's summer break, and I end up getting a cold. So just my luck. Today, I am going to give you some updates on a couple of my tarantulas, and it's very good news. Unlike last week's video that I put out with my Brachypelma baby, where I had an unsuccessful pairing, these are the results of successful pairings. So that's what I've got in store for you today. So the tarantula that I have on the left over here, this is my Poeciolotheria regalis female that I purchased from Nature's Exquisite Creatures, and I bought her not too long ago when I ended up having two P. regalis that matured male, and I was hoping that one of them would be female, but sure enough it ended up being male, as my luck would have it. So I bought her with the intention of breeding her, and she was about 6.5 inches when I got her, which is pretty close to full size. So she was a mature male, or mature female. And I didn't record the whole breeding process because with the P. regalis, it's a little bit more difficult, a little bit trickier than, say, with the Psalmopoeus cambridgei that I have over here on the right. The whole courtship process can take a long time. It can take hours. So I didn't really feel like sitting there for hours recording, watching, not to mention I didn't want a whole lot of light or anything like that. So it would have been difficult to record a video of it, and I wanted to be as successful as possible. So what I did is I shark tanked her, and what that means is that I take a larger enclosure, and I put both the male and female enclosure inside. I allow them to acclimate to each other and notice each other, allow them to drum back and forth. And then finally, when I felt like they were ready, I just take the lids off and let nature take its course. And I never actually witnessed a pairing. I did see the male drum a whole lot and approach her and try to court her, but I also witnessed her chasing both of the males, not at the same time, but it's two separate times, and she would chase them around the enclosure and try to eat them. So I was really worried that, you know, she was going to eat them and no pairing would take place. So I did this for a couple of tries, and finally put the males back in their enclosure. They did survive, and I didn't really expect much out of it. Well, not too long after that, she started eating like crazy, so I started doing the things that were necessary to make sure that she would make an egg sac, and sure enough, she ended up webbing up her cork tube, and she stayed in there for a very long time. So I believe it was May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and I kind of peeked in there. I made a little hole so I could look inside of the cork tube, and sure enough, she had made me an egg sac. Now, one of the things that really scared me about this is that probably maybe 3 weeks after she had made the egg sac, I started noticing her coming out of the cork tube. So it really worried me. And yeah, I thought maybe she was going to abandon the egg sac, or maybe she was going to eat the egg sac, which sometimes does happen if conditions aren't right, or if they feel like they're being disturbed too much, which this is not actually good for them, but I did want to make a video about it. And so yeah, I got really, really worried. And sure enough, she ended up leaving the cork tube to make a hide over here on this side behind the cork tube, and she kind of cocooned herself in there, but she left her egg sac inside the cork tube. So I left it alone for a day, and I watched it carefully, and I was hoping that maybe she would go in there and retrieve the egg sac and move it, but she did not. So I took a chance, and I did something that I don't know if it was good or bad, but it was just something that I wanted to save the egg sac. So I reached in there with my tongs and pulled the egg sac out, and I handed it to her through a hole on the side right there, and she took it right back, and now she's acting like a mom should. I think she feels more secure on this side. She's been holding her egg sac and hugging it like the mom usually does, and I feel a lot better about it. Whether they're going to be viable or not, I don't know. Hopefully they will be. They're actually about time for those eggs to become eggs with legs, or eels. And I'm not going to pull the egg sac, at least not right now, because I got a trip next week to California where I'll be gone for a week, and I'm not going to be able to pull them out and put them in an incubator or anything like that and then leave for a week. So either I'm going to do it when I come back, or I might just leave them with the mom and see what happens. She's been taking good care of them, so hopefully she won't eat the egg sac and everything will go well. But I had a successful pairing actually before the Psalmopoeus cambridgei. A lot of people congratulated me on this one for my first pairing, but this is actually my first successful pairing over here. So yeah, I was real happy about it. I think it's a really cool thing. Hopefully I will get some babies out of that. I love the P. regalis. It's one of my favorite species. So I'm overjoyed that she has made an egg sac and she's guarding it like a good mom should, and hopefully everything will turn out just fine. Now this one on the right here, this is my Psalmopoeus cambridgei, and I did a video of the pairing on this one, and it was probably one of the most textbook pairings I think I've ever seen. It was a very gentle pairing the whole time. There was no threat of her eating the male or anything like that, so it was a really awesome thing to witness. I even got to see the insertion and everything, so it was really cool. And she started cocooning the entire enclosure. She webbed everything up. So she was showing all the classic signs that she was going to lay an egg sac. So I was really hopeful and really happy that everything had turned out so well. And sure enough, I think it was the 25th of May, while I was working on the video of the Brachypelma baby, she sits right next to my desk, my computer desk. So I'm sitting there working on this video and I look over and she is making her egg sac. So I noticed that she was webbing. So I was like, oh, she's making her egg sac. So while I'm working on the video, I set up my camera and I set it up right next to me and set up a little light so that I could record the entire process. So once she laid her egg sac, she's been acting like a wonderful mom. She's been hugging that egg sac and she's been doing everything that she should. So hopefully this one will go extremely well, and she will give me some more P. cambridgei babies. And from what I understand, sometimes they double clutch. So maybe afterwards she might give me another egg sac. Who knows? So I should have some babies here of her. So anyway, here is a time lapse of her creating her egg sac. What a cool thing to witness her creating that egg sac. It was pretty wonderful for me to get to see that. I've seen them before on other videos, but for me to experience it firsthand was really neat. I'm sorry that the footage was not exactly the clearest or the best that you can see. I was shooting through the glass and through webbing and everything, so I did set up a light with a red light on it. Lightroom or Adobe Premiere allows me to go in there and change the settings, so I actually changed the color settings a little bit so you can see better, because the red lighting didn't make it for it was very difficult for you to see with it. So I changed it a little bit to more of a purplish blue color, which allowed better viewing of the whole process. I have seen different videos out there where people have shown their tarantulas laying eggs and so on, but that just was not possible with the setup that I had here. I wish I had one of those little probe cameras that you can run down in there with a little light and everything, and actually witness the eggs being dropped into the sack and her closing it up. But you know, I just don't have that equipment. Maybe in the future sometime, but still, we got to experience it. It was a neat thing to view. Remember these? The lady, Tennille Ferris, that sent these to me, she has created a Facebook page. It's called Teeny's Exotic Creative Crochet. And she is actually taking orders to make these for people and selling them. So if you're interested in getting one of those, I suggest you take a look at that Facebook page. I'll post a link for that down below so that you can get yours as well. They're really cool, very well made, and I really appreciate her sending those to me. So that wraps it up for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week I go to California. I don't know if I'll have a video ready. I'll try to have a video uploaded so that you will be able to see something while I'm gone. And who knows what kind of adventures I'm going to get into in California. I'm going to see my parents and my brother and sister over there. But yeah, they like to take me places. So hopefully I'll be able to go somewhere that has some nature, wildlife, maybe even tarantulas. So that's something to look forward to. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to support this channel, I do have a Redbubble store where I sell Tarantula Haven merchandise, and I'll post a link to that down below. All the proceeds from the Redbubble store will go directly to help grow and support this channel. Until next time, keep loving them tarantulas.